This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 56.
The big 5-6.
I actually thought it was dead, but it's not.
It's not dead.
Live.
Yep, and in
as
color.
always,
Yep.
in color. What's up, everybody? Especially the people who are here live.
Hope you enjoyed that Snoop Dogg song.
Hope you enjoy it. We do like loading music, just to like. There's kind of like a little lobby to hang out in before the live stream starts. And we pick particularly shitty music to play for the people who are waiting.
We like to force them into it.
Hope you enjoyed it. It was like the Gran Turismo
The 3 Snoop Dogg song.
Dogg intro. It's pretty bad.
That he made just because he loves the game and not because he was paid.
Yeah, he was obviously not just paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being here. What's up to our patrons? I see a number of them in the audience live. That's super cool. If you are interested in being a patron, I highly recommend it. You can Google Car Bros Patreon, or you can check out the link in the description below. And also, since these are live, like we watch the chat a bit. But if you would like to ask us a question or like say something that we will definitely respond to, go ahead and super chat us any amount of money, or just super chat us if you're just feeling generous, because the majority of our money, if not all of our money, comes from Patreon and super chat stuff. So
Another quick
Just throwing that out
announcement
there.
is we have officially started an Instagram, or I guess I have officially started an Instagram
yeah,
for Car Bros.
There's this cool new thing.
Yeah,
called
we're
Instagram.
Apparently there's a
finally
website
jumped
called
on this
Instagram.
new hip program. Yeah, all the other Car Bros accounts out there have been posers. They're not actually us, but we have an official.
yeah, that's
one.
weird. There's like a couple of
Yeah,
them
there's
that
like
have like our
3.
logo,
Yep.
and one of them's even called like official Car Bros.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So ours is Car Bros _official.
Okay,
I think
Car Bros _official.
there it is. That's the real one.
If you wanna
Follow us.
oh, thanks for that, Lena. Appreciate it.
Good piece.
If you want to follow John, and then he can relay things to us. It's really useful though to talk to other. It's like a networking tool,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, we've kind of been able to. I'm getting some followers right now on my phone.
Oh damn,
Yeah.
blowing up. Yeah, we've been able to like actually speak to some other
Yeah.
people, and actually, I mean, I guess this is good enough time to say it. We actually just recorded a podcast with Savage Geese,
Correct.
our first ever and potentially only guest.
Yeah.
We had Savage Geese on here.
We went long form too.
It was pretty long. It was probably like an hour and a half. And so we're doing these live first Sunday of the month, 6 p.m. Pacific time, which is, if you're here live, that's what this is right now. But that one will just be like we're just going to do one in the middle of the month.
A little pre-Thanksgiving.
So it's just going to be like, yeah, a little extra one. So that'll be episode 57 with him. Super fucking fun.
Yeah.
And like
Eye-opening.
awesome. I had a feeling he'd be
Yeah, he'd mesh well. with
mesh
us.
well.
Yeah.
And it was like, usually when it's the first time you meet someone, or just in general, it's kind of weird. And it was like,
You didn't really feel like that.
it was like immediately we're just like hanging out. I don't even think we introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
We're just like
It was just like, oh hey, how's it
immediately started like talking shit.
going? Yeah.
So that was a blast. So look forward to that in 2 weeks. I
Yeah,
think the
something like that,
18th
yeah.
it'll come out. Whatever the 2 Mondays from now. So yeah. So sup Goose, if you're watching this. I
Yeah.
assume he isn't, but yeah. Anyways, look forward to that. I think that's all the upfront shit I have. Oh, speaking of well, I guess I'll get to that later. The Monterey video.
Mhm.
Let's talk about that.
It's out.
It happened.
We actually did it.
It is out. The response to that has been the most positive
Yeah, I'd say like incredible.
ever.
Yeah.
It's been very extreme. It actually did. I mean, there's really no way for us to know how well our videos are going to do. Truly, we have no clue.
Yeah, they're all so different from each other.
We just do not know. And that video actually is doing pretty well, despite being posted absolutely nowhere. Well, it's been posted in like 2 websites,
Right.
but
Yeah.
like not majorly trafficked ones.
Right.
And so we're not sure what that is about, but it seems like YouTube is spreading it around a bit, and the word of mouth traffic is pretty high.
Right.
So, thank you for that. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed, but it's like the feedback was crazy positive, which is
especially
cool.
because it was so long. We really had no like that was
Yeah.
by far the longest piece of aside from a podcast, I guess. But
Yeah.
to like expect someone to sit there for an hour.
Well, the crazy thing to me, we usually launch stuff at 4 a.m. because it's 7 on East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually like, oh, yeah, 4 a.m. because there's people getting ready for work. And here's a little 3-minute video.
Yeah.
You know, here's some funny video before you go to work or something.
Or like when you first get into the office.
Yeah, you're just like getting into the office. And so it was like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, do we launch an hour-long documentary at 4 a.m.?
I'm late to work.
Yeah, which we did because it's just like, that's how we do it. But like, we launch it at 4, and then I usually wake up, you know, like 6:30 or whatever. I'm starting to wake up, and I check my phone, and there were already people
Already, like consumed the entire thing.
watched the whole thing. And so I was like, how did that happen?
Right.
Because it's early enough where you must have a job. Otherwise, like, why would you be up? But anyways, it was just very positive, like from start to now. Still, it's extremely positive.
Yeah, it's crossed 100,000.
Yeah, it's over 100,000 views, and the like viewing minutes is just like huge because it's essentially like it's basically like 10x
They
the length.
They aren't just clicking on it; they're actually they're staying with it. Yeah.
But usually it's like 100,000 views on a 5-minute video is one thing. Those 100,000 views on like 10 times that. So it's essentially the viewing minutes of like a 1 million view standard video. So, anyways, for first week or 2 weeks or whatever response, I'm actually like pretty heartwarmed by the response because a lot of them are just like, thank you for making this, and like this is one of the funniest things. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's very positive stuff.
And I know I've said it before, but thank you to all the people who kickstarted it and actually made it happen. Yeah.
And so, that's what I wanted to say. So first of all, you guys made it happen. You know, it's like that would not have happened without the support, especially the Kickstarters and the patrons, but just, you know, the encouragement of everyone else. The other thing is kind of the like icing on the cake at the end of that video was the magazine, essentially the Quail kind of
item.
the infamous book that the Fury is mistakenly posted in. Here it is, page 149.
Yeah,
pages are creased together. Anyways, we went and like stole. Yeah, we just got our hands on as many copies. Came across.
Yeah.
A couple of copies of those. So we're gonna do we're gonna sign and mail out a copy of that to some of our more generous patrons and Kickstarters, and then like 1 or 2 just kind of like random patrons as a thank you to you guys. So again, just thank you to everyone. Yeah. And it's like takes a village. But the other thing, one last thing about that, we had on the Kickstarter, we had said there's access to an extended cut. What we're gonna end up doing instead is there's just a lot of footage that couldn't make it in there. It just wasn't really appropriate to do, or it was too long-winded or whatever. It just didn't have a place. And so I'm just gonna turn that into like a 10 or 20 minute kind of like bonus footage thing. And if you're a patron or a Kickstarter contributor, you'll be getting access to that. But that has not gone out yet. That'll probably be, I'd say, in the next week or so. It's kind of like a extended cutting room floor.
Dessert.
Yeah, a little dessert. It's pretty solid stuff though. Editing that was tough because it was like
what do you put in there?
We had tons of footage from like 3 different cameras.
Yeah. It started as about 5 or 6 hours of footage of just from the weekend.
Right.
And we edited that down to an hour before we filmed any of the interview stuff. And then it was like we really had to cut down, and it still ended up at an hour. Yeah. And we're shooting for like a half hour.
But it doesn't feel that long.
The flow is good. Right. Yeah. It worked out well. So
good job.
Anyways, good job all around. Yeah. Somebody asked if we repaired the Fury. TBD. There's some development there we're not going to talk about yet, but some big shit's happening behind the scenes. We'll probably get to that I'd say next podcast, next month. Not,
probably.
not the Savage
Probably by
Beast
next
one.
month we'll have more news
Mhm.
on what's going on with the Fieri.
Mhm.
Suffice to say, you'll be excited.
Mm-hmm.
The saga continues. Wu-Tang. Okay. Another thing that I was looking at, this is like kind of related. I was looking up Fieros on Wikipedia. I don't,
Yeah,
Why-
as one would
'Cause-
do.
As one
Yeah.
often does.
you know,
Yeah.
I've actually become a fan
Yeah,
of
now you're
this.
hooked.
Of this car. Yeah, it's funny, like all this stuff dealing with Fieros, by the end of it, it's like I still don't want one. Like,
You haven't jumped aboard that ship.
nah. But I was reading about them. I can't remember why. And it was talking about like the early, like the 84 or whatever, like the first ones were, and just how like essentially like weak they were. But a couple of things that I came across I thought were pretty impressive. One is that they made 370,000 of those things
Over the whole course of
over the production
5
run,
years or
which is 4 or 5 years. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's fucking bonkers.
How many of those are left on the road?
Shit, I don't know, 1,000. But the other thing that I was reading that's pretty nuts is they made the very first ones. You get it with a 4-cylinder. I think you get a 4-cylinder the whole time, but you
It was
could.
actually the enthusiast choice.
Yeah, it was the lighter.
The lighter,
Yeah,
nimble.
it was nimbler on its feet.
Yeah.
But you could get it with like an economy transmission gearing choice.
Like an automatic.
Is the automatic, but
Yeah.
like a separate, purposely economy based
Jesus.
gearing. Yeah, I'm not sure it was like a 2-speed or something. And that gearing got 31 miles per gallon in the city and 50 miles per gallon on the highway.
God damn.
Yeah.
Cut through the wind.
It's pretty wild. It was pretty wild, but also like confused and weird
Pathetic.
for a car.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure that thing was slow as shit. Thanks for that, Jesse. Said, can I get a Carbros window banner for the race car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sure.
Send us like how wide your
Yeah.
windshield is.
Let us know the dimensions, and we'll hook you hook you up.
What kind of race car is it? He said that before.
He has a
didn't
couple cars. like
Yeah, what
that,
kind of
right?
race
I
car is it?
forgot.
The other thing that I was thinking about, people, I mean, I didn't really know this. We were talking to like a Fiero enthusiast, a very enthusiast
Mhm.
gentleman.
Highly enthusiastic.
He's very enthusiast at Lemons, and I'll put some of that footage in the extra footage thing,
Yeah.
whatever. But he was like, when people think of Fieros, they think of fires. And I was like, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't think so.
But I guess that was a thing that they would catch on fire.
As exotics tend to do.
Yeah, and it was something like kind of bad. The reason was like, it's not like, oh, the like wiring gets hot.
Yeah.
It was like the engine, I think it was something like under high G loads or something, the engine would starve of oil, and then it would spin a bearing and it would throw a rod, and then the hole in the block would spit oil onto the exhaust manifold.
This is coming from a person that likes Fier. That's
Yeah.
like trying to defend him.
Well, it's just like that's how they caught on fire.
Pretty much
It's like,
it's like the worst thing that
ew.
can happen to a car.
Yeah, but it just made me think, like, can you fucking imagine if that happened to a car today?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, some of them catch on fire.
It just tends to happen.
Some of them have catastrophic.
Yeah.
They just, it throws a rod.
NBD though. I mean,
It's part of it. Like you would, like,
It's a little flaw.
oh, the new Corolla. You know, sometimes that engine grenades
it's a little finicky.
and it catches on fire. Just the shit that was like acceptable.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think that was acceptable, but like possible.
Passable.
Yeah, like it left the factory.
It was signed off.
Yeah.
It was signed off. It's like on the factory.
Like production wasn't grounded to a halt and
Yeah.
like everything was recalled.
It's like going down the assembly line and one of them's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of wild.
Oh,
Just
Jesse
like,
said Camaro Z28.
oh yeah, nice,
Solid.
Nice.
cool, man. Yeah, definitely get one. Anyways, I don't know why, but that was my takeaway from the Fiero Wikipedia. Well, he was like, read the story because it's like a wild, and it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's like there's some inner turmoil in GM
Mhm.
where it's like the competition with the vet and stuff.
That probably doesn't exist. There's probably no such thing as that at all anymore. Huh?
What?
Like the Buick guys and the
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of wonder.
Cadillac guys got a hold of this, and
I think I remember reading something where they were talking about like the Camaro and the vet, where it was like, oh, aren't you afraid of one being faster than the other? And it sounded, I thought I remember someone saying it was more like healthy competition.
Oh,
It was
really?
like, try to make it
yeah,
faster. Like,
do
yeah.
best.
Yeah, bring it in. Bring it in. Yeah, anyways. Okay, so, oh yeah, hold on. One more thing I wrote here. The other part about this is since it was a space frame, since it was like body panels bolted onto a steel space frame, which is why they're such popular kit cars,
Right.
it's like 5-star rated crash safety. Or yeah, it's like one of the safest cars like
Of the era.
of the era.
Yeah.
Ours
Ours is not.
not
No.
probably.
No,
Not anymore.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty wild.
ours is probably like a 4 out of 5 stars.
I really wonder.
Yeah, that
Like-
thing would buckle like fucking so bad.
The thing about ours is it would either explode like a just bomb of shrapnel,
Yeah.
or what if the fiberglass is just like so over the top thick that it would just like cut a car in half or something. Like, or maybe
It
it's
slices it.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Iron anteater.
Yeah, who knows? Okay, I think that's the last of my Fiero knowledge. Moving forward, every podcast, we will have a Fiero
Emptying the tank.
Fiero tip. We'll be opening every podcast with a "Did you know?" I don't really have anything here. This doesn't really have any mileage, but
We're gonna do it anyways.
Suzuki Samurai.
Oh yeah, before the podcast started, people were talking about this, right?
It just reminded
Multiple
me.
viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw is it Geo Tracker?
/
Chevy
Suzuki
Tracker?
Sidekick. I think it may have been a Chevy at one point as well.
I saw one
Like
driving.
after the Geo brand was sadly.
Yeah, and I
Which
couldn't
was-
decide if those are like cool or not.
I would say yes,
You think yes?
especially if they're turquoise.
Because it's there with the like RAV4 2-door
Mhm.
kind of thing, the little
Right.
like
Those are
squished.
rear wheel or not? Those are
Bring up a Suzuki Samurai.
Longitudinally.
You bring up a.
I will attempt my best.
Because I think Samurais are very popular in the
Yeah.
off-road
they are.
world or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm guessing they're pretty.
There's some great
Shit.
lowriders.
Yeah, we found a sweet lowrider one. Yeah, this is kind of like Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of Jeep-esque. It's got
little baby Jeep.
It's got Jeep aspirations. Would you rather have that or a 2-door RAV4?
Mm,
I'd probably have that.
I think so.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. 2-door RAV4. It's fucking sweet.
go Google a turquoise side Geo Tracker, please.
All right, I'll keep working on this.
All right, you get to work.
I think that would be my pick.
Turquoise one. Yeah, turquoise needs to come back.
Mhm.
Turquoise and forest green.
Oh, they-
Oh
no, that's
no,
Samurai,
that's
bro.
kind of.
Oh, RAV4?
No tracker.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, bro.
I'm out of my game right now.
The daylight savings time ending is really missing.
Yeah, boy, this
Oh,
is.
that's an.
You're really missing out if you're listening to this audio
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
You're missing out on John googling things. Okay. Well, that went better than I.
That went astoundingly.
Let me
well.
just take down in the minutes.
Yeah.
Mike had an idea,
Success.
Huge response.
and it was good. It went well. The other thing that was kind of like I was chuckling about, maybe was it last podcast when I said the Hyundai Accent? I made that fake ad
I think it was.
Oh yeah.
for the like Cobalt
Oh,
yeah.
Cobalt theory. Yeah, we made Savage Geese give a Cobalt theory answer too.
definitely wanted to.
We brought him up to speed.
He had
yeah.
some solid.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Mhm.
We should just have him like recurring.
Yeah.
But somebody was like, I said the Hyundai Accent like a while ago, and this user's screen name was Hyundai Accent Fan Club,
That's ironic, right?
which I don't know. Hyundai Accent fan club. Why don't you let us know if you're actually into accents? And so I was like, oh, haha, that's funny. Like he mentioned that. But I fucking looked up the previous comments by this guy, and he never said that. So,
are you calling him
I'm
out?
calling him out. This is bullshit. He never said Hyundai Accent.
Okay, Gary or Steve.
Yeah, unless it was in a. Oh, it might have been in a chat.
Yeah, it might have been a live chat.
Yeah, so we'll see. But
Lena just said HAFC. I love those. Is that like a real?
I don't know. I don't know if she's just
fucking with
she might be taking the joke to another level. Anyways,
Damn.
man, this is a disconnected cast. This is fucking all over the place. Okay. Here's something annoying. I was driving on a country road recently, and it's essentially like 2-lane country road, 55 mile an hour speed limit. But then it'll be like, here comes your turn, and it's just a turn. It's just a road that tees into this 2-lane country road.
Yeah.
And so they're always awkward because, first of all, you're probably going like 70.
Yeah, even though the speed limit's like 45.
It's 55, you know, or it's just like end speed limit,
You're
and
just
it's like
cruising.
55. So it's like you're just kind of jamming down this country road. And then it's like, oh, here comes your turn, or someone else like has a turn coming up. But it's not like there's a lane.
Yeah.
And so you have to like break down to a speed that is safe to make a right, like a right
90 degree.
Yeah, total 90-degree turn onto, which is like kind of weird. But some people will fucking they'll creep down, like they'll slow to the point where it's like
So bad.
it's ridiculous.
Like they'll break and get like they'll slow down and then they'll initiate the turn.
Yeah.
They won't accelerate. They literally will not touch the gas pedal until they have like
until they're like
completed the
off
entire
the
turn.
road.
Yeah.
It's like, did the car die?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because the courtesy is basically like, you take that turn at like whatever your car can handle, because you're trying to like get off the road. You're trying to move as fast as you can. And like every once in a while I'll be behind someone and they'll go for that turn, and it's like, dude, and they'll like start to move over, but you can't go past them until they're fully over.
Right.
So they'll be like, and you're like,
It feels like an eternity.
Really?
I'm even like that when I like just turn into like a driveway.
Right, yeah.
Where,
Even in
like,
the city.
Yeah, where
it's
like
super annoying.
you like go into the opposing lane, so you like carry more speed into it, so you're like slowing down the people behind you less,
yeah,
I'm hitting apexes every time I can, bro.
yeah,
carrying that momentum.
yeah. I'm racing like nobody's business.
And do you also notice, it's like when a car pulls out in front of you and then when they punch it, you're like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like you're okay with it?
Well, initially I'm like, look at this
Yeah,
fucking
you're like, what the
asshole.
fuck are you doing?
And then I
And
see actually he
and
he
then, like-
notices his mistake,
and
or
then-
he like saw you.
and
at
he
least.
stands on it.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, and even like the once in a while where people actually do like like they're merging, you think it's gonna be too slow, or just anything like that, but then they get on it, and you can see the exhaust like smoking
Yeah.
from like a rich condition or something. It's like, all right,
Yeah. Fair enough.
kudos to
Yeah.
People also do that if they're like sleeping at the light and you like
yeah.
tap your horn.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
They-
and then like,
Yeah, it's like, whoa, you didn't have to go for that. Yeah.
apparently John and myself are quiet on the.
No, fuck it. That's John. That's John's arena. Yeah. Yeah. So that is annoying. And then the other thing that I was like, I mean, this one's, I feel like we may have talked about this before. But it drives me fucking bananas, is people who merge at the last second. Have we talked about that? Where it's just like, okay, there's a off ramp or something, and like multiple lane, and where it's just like it's slow as shit, and so people are just lined up to slowly exit the freeway or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like it just works out that you can squeeze in at the last second to
Right.
these situations. I mean, sometimes you can't, but people do. But it's like there's no retaliation
Right.
in these situations. It's like
What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do? Like, you can't. You're in a car. You can't do anything. But it's just like people who do that are just the scum of the earth.
You should tell your parking lot story.
What was that?
The downtown, like going for a parking spot.
Oh, yeah. That's
kind of the same vein of retaliation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he tried to do something. So this isn't that good of a story because I purposely didn't let it have a good ending. But I was in a downtown setting when it's essentially like, okay, parking's fucked everywhere.
Right.
It's just like you're circling blocks.
Even in like a small towns downtown.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, it's just sometimes settings will hit a situation where it's like, okay, there is no parking, and every car that's on the road right now is essentially looking for parking.
Right.
So you're all just kind of like roaming for parking. And so I'm circling the block a few times, and I see a guy start to put on his reverse lights as I'm...
Is this a parallel parking?
It's one of those like turn 45 degrees
along the street.
Along the street
right.
park. And so I see him start to put on his reverse lights as I'm pulling up to him.
You're going the same way as like you're looking at his tail.
He will back into me, and I will easily take the spot.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. So like I'm like cruising up to him, and then this dude, it's coming up. He will back out of his parking spot and then pull up to a 4-way stop about 20 feet ahead of him, and this guy ahead comes from the 4-way stop, turning. And
what kind of vehicle was he?
He's in a minivan, like a Toyota Sienna.
Oh yeah.
And so he rolls up front. He turns onto the street.
After you have already turned onto the street, right?
I'm already on.
Yeah,
it's like a long street. I'm already there. I'm like coming up, and he pulls up and puts his blinker on. Like I want to park here. But it's like, oh, no, I'm taking.
So he's coming like the opposite way. Right?
He's coming the opposite way. You know where you like people try to like, and it works sometimes.
Where he would have to do like a U-turn almost.
Yeah, he'll have to do more than a U-turn, into it. But it's like sometimes you do that where it's like you put your blinker on to let people know I'm gonna whatever. But in this case, I was like that. Like we're there at the he basically tried to like, no, I've been here. Like, and I remember even thinking his blinker was on, but I was like, did he just leave his blinker on from that turn? Because he just. Like, and so it's kind of that situation where I'm like, yeah, nice try, but like, I'm parking here.
Right.
Good effort.
It's like, yeah, good effort. And so I pull in and he just lays on his horn, like as I'm pulling in. I was like, whatever. I kind of like, whatever, And so I go to get out. It's just like, I took it. Like, sorry, I took it. And so I get out and he's like, oh, I forget what he said. He was just like, I had my blinker on. Like, don't be a dick. I had my blinker on. I was like, what? He's like, that spot. I had my blinker on. You're being a dick. I was like, dude, we got here at the same time. I don't know. And in these situations, I never say sorry because I'm not at fault. I'm not going to say sorry.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you, man. We were at the same time. And so during that, as in this brief interaction, the car 2 cars over pulls out. So now there's a spot right next to me. And I'm like, oh, take that. And I'm like turning to leave. And he's like, you get back in your car and move your car.
You take that spot.
Yeah, he's like, you take that spot.
Is he like stopped in the middle of the road?
He's stopped in the middle of the road.
Are there like people behind
Yeah.
him?
And he's like screaming
He's
at
causing
me.
big scenes.
He's yelling at me out of his car.
I'm surprised you didn't see like a bunch of people just like pull their fucking phone out and start filming it.
It
seems like that's what people do in those kind of situations.
Well, that's what I should have done. And so he's like getting more worked up. He's already, people make this point, he passed the point where it's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's not.
He was committed.
And so he's like, you pull your. He's like, no, you get back in your car.
And you fucking.
And he starts getting kind of like, no, you. And I was like, I'm not gonna move my car. Dude.
Yeah.
Just park there. And he's like, I'm gonna park, and then we're gonna see what's gonna happen. It's just like, please walk away from this.
It's a freaking parking.
This is
spot.
not going to end well for anybody. What's the ending?
Was he by himself or?
He's by himself.
All right.
And so anytime these situations happen, immediately I'm just like, clearly this guy's life sucks.
Yeah.
Or he's on some sort of medication.
I'm more, it's like minivan. It's like, you just got done yelling at your kid or whatever. It's like,
he was already pissed before the situation started.
This is an unreasonable response to this. And so he's like, he's basically threatening me. And in my head, I'm just like, that's assault. Yeah. Like, you already crossed that line. And so he's like, you don't want me to park the car. And I was like, please walk away. I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, what do you want to do? Fight? Like,
Throw down.
You want, like, this is not, and in my head also, it's just like, I'm just trying to go to work. I don't have time for you. My life doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. And so he's like, if you call the cops, and then he's like, I'm going to give him something for you to call them about. He's just, it's just like, oh man. So I'm just like, all right, man. And so I just walk away because it's just like, there's no good result. He's not going to be like, you know what?
You have a point. I'm sorry.
I am kind of being a dick. Yeah. And so it's just like, just got to walk away. And so I walk away and he parks and he starts following me. So it's like,
on foot?
He parks in the aforementioned spot.
He parks in the spot. So now we're parked.
It'd be funny if after that, oh yeah, you parked there, bitch.
Yeah. and so he starts following me and I end up calling the cops and he follows me for like 2 blocks and I'm just like staring at him. I eventually stop and I'm like staring at him. Now on the phone with the cop. We're in my head.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I just want to fucking go to work. Like, please just go get drunk or what.
Yeah, it's just like a middle-aged dude.
Yeah. It very much just looked like, he looked a lot like the kind of dad at like a soccer game who's like screaming at the ref, like that kind of dad, like heated dad. And so he's like, I'm on the other side of the block. It's crowded downtown, by the way. And he's just like staring at me. And it's just like, I'm on the phone with the cops, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this guy, like, what do you want me to do? This guy's here threatening me. And I'm like, well, did he, like, is he gonna attack? Yeah, because basically the cops are like, well, we're not going to come down there for it looks like it's about to be a. Right. And I'm just like, I'm hoping he walks away. And so eventually he walked away. He kind of like walked away and I walked away. Right. But it was like, I basically had to run away from somebody to stop.
Tail between your legs.
To stop them. I know. I was like, that's what it takes.
I wonder what like his side of the story would be. Like if you're like, well, so honey.
I think because I just had this fantasy about like, because it's like, well, number one thing is I've watched enough Joe Rogan to know like, street fight, you want to avoid a street fight at all. I mean, it's like, this is how someone accidentally dies, like head hitting concrete. Right. But I just had this fantasy about like the cops eventually showing up and him trying to.
I had my blinker.
Yeah.
Officer, I had my blinker.
It's just like, why don't you go ahead and tell the story about like why this is happening?
Yeah. Give me the rundown.
Oh man. So I eventually went and. Like 10 minutes later, I went and moved my car. It's like there's like a 90% chance he's gonna come back and like key it.
And by this point, you probably like totally forgot about what you actually went there to do.
What, me? Yeah. I was going back to work. I was going back to edit the Monterey video.
This was like just to go to your office.
Yeah, I was just parking downtown.
Like, get, like something to eat or something.
No, I was parking to go back at like 8 at night on a Friday to edit the Monterey video. Yeah, and so my whole thing is he's trying to get to a bar, right? And so it's like. It's just all bad. But yeah, it's just like road rage. There's something about car.
It's crazy that people will like potentially like throw it all away.
Dude,
over, like literally.
He would have gone to jail. Like if I hadn't run, essentially, this guy would have gone to jail. Like there's no situation where like we fight and then shake hands.
Yeah. All right, you'll get the spot.
Like where's the end?
You have bested me.
Oh man, yeah. But I actually don't know how to. I was kind of thinking about it because I was like, how do you handle a situation like that? Like what is the way to de-escalate it?
Yeah.
Because I really didn't like what I did because I didn't want to leave my car.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, he keys it and I have nothing.
Right.
I mean, it's not like I think I know who it was. Like that sucks. So I think the thing to do is either start recording them immediately,
which was our whatever at the Monterey. Why we got into the quails because
we were recording people. Or I think you call 911 on speaker and say like, this guy's here, this is his license plate number,
threatening violence,
what do you want to do, and like hold the like, do you want to threaten me?
Go talk to him.
Do you want to like record a threat or something? I mean, I don't know, but I assume there's no talking down people like that. Like they've crossed the line into ready. Blind rage.
Like presumably they do that a lot. Like you're not the first guy that he's accosted.
And I kind of felt like, man, isn't it my duty to send this guy to jail. You know?
Teach
It's like
him a lesson.
where does the string of anger end? Yeah. Anyways, that happened. But yeah, the ending wasn't. It's like
Yeah.
I didn't throw him through a plate glass
Yeah.
window or something.
In your head, you did though.
Well, there was a part of me that was like, God, I would love to just get in a fight.
uh-huh.
You know, because it's like
throw him through the window.
I'm all
honest in
amped
the
up
bookstore.
too. Yeah, it's like, all right, let's fucking do this. Like, you know, fuck it. Friday night. Okay. What was that in the middle of?
People merging slow. or
People
something.
sucking it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when people merge slow. I'm just like, man, you're just scum.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that pisses me off about people driving, now that I've started biking,
Mountain biking.
no, road biking. Like I
Oh.
bike to work
Yeah, yeah.
in the morning and evening, which is awesome. I love it. Except I'm very aware now of people parking in bike lanes, like on a street where you're not supposed to park. It's like no parking anytime,
Right.
and people will park there. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, like now I have to go into the street. You know, it's pretty annoying and dangerous. But people will do this thing where they'll park in an illegal situation, but they'll put their hazards on.
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't worry. And it's just like, it's like that doesn't fix it.
Uh-huh.
Like that doesn't make it legal. But I think it's supposed to be a sign of like, I haven't left it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Like-
still running,
Just
I
running.
guess, kind of.
It's
I
like
told you, like people do that in Japan all the time, like on tight fucking like roads where like two cars cannot pass.
they'll like
Yeah.
triple park or
They'll
something.
just like park in front of a 7-Eleven and put the hazards on and like go in and get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Because there's not like parking lots in the city.
Yeah, I mean, people do. It's like the denser the city, the more I think that
Yeah,
happens. Where it's like it's funny, but it's just kind of like, it's like I'll be right back. But like,
I know my car's here.
but it's
Lights
like
are on.
deal with it. You know, it's like a shit show for everyone else. And it's like I know, but you know, sorry.
Yeah,
This is
that
like-
made me think of. I don't know if other cities have that, but LA has a lot of those like parking lanes on streets.
Yeah.
Where, like you'll just be
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
and then
yeah.
like the right lane like all of a sudden just
It just
becomes
becomes a, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like cars
Or
stopped
like,
in it.
it's
Yeah.
like a parking during certain hours, but not parking during rush hour.
Is it? Do they change?
Usually,
from time
yeah.
to day?
It's
But
like you can't park.
It's fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you'll be driving and all of a sudden, oh, there's like a bunch of cars just parked in this lane,
And you have to like get out of that
Yeah,
lane.
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something.
It's like a
Yeah.
3-lane road,
and then like the third.
but
lane,
then the
right-
third lane just
right
becomes a
lane.
parking lane.
yeah.
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 and usually the traffic flow like necessitates a 3-lane, but they
Sometimes
just make it 2.
they just decide to park there.
yeah, it's kind of weird. I assume they probably have that in other cities. But
Yeah.
I notice it a lot when I'm in LA.
I am just particularly aware of that now because I'm biking, and it's like, okay, I have to like cut into traffic now to get around your Uber
Right.
or something.
Just waiting.
Yeah, when it's like just pull into a driveway, like just pull into someone's
Yeah.
driveway.
If you're literally
Or
just going to run in and out.
yeah, if you're gonna run in and out. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I tend to not do that. So I think I'm safe to make fun of people who do.
I like people that even just park in like handicap spots in front of a store.
Yeah.
I'm just going to run in real fast.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if I wear a helmet. I do not.
Dangerous.
I'm pretty bad. I do when I'm.
Aren't you supposed to by law?
No, if you're under 18.
Oh, it's only 15.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They figure once you're 18, you've lived your life.
Uh-huh.
You call it a light.
Yeah.
You should just wear a full face like motorcycle helmet.
Yeah. Well, when I mountain bike, I do. I like.
Not a full face.
I kind of want to,
Yeah.
but I don't. But I wear like
It feels
elbow
like
and
if
knee
you're gonna,
pads.
it feels
and
like if
stuff.
you're gonna wear a helmet when you're mountain biking, you might as well just wear like a face.
I know, because it's like,
'cause there's like a
man,
pretty
if I'm gonna fall,
Yeah, there's a pretty
Yeah.
high probability of eating shit.
if I'm going over the front of this thing, it's like I want to wrap myself in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I did. It was really windy here a few days ago, and I wore a helmet then because I was like, there were like trees falling and shit. But yeah, usually I don't. I probably should.
Yeah, you sent that picture of a car just like crushed by a
Yeah,
tree.
it was
Yeah.
wild. It was like
bad.
it was like 30-mile-an-hour wind and like 6 trees fell over.
Yeah.
it's like, geez, the foliage around here is pretty weak.
Well, it has been drought for like the past couple of years.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Okay. Is this related? Accelerate.
Oh no, this is totally unrelated.
Switching gears. 180.
I feel like we've talked about this a little bit, but like how dumb it is, like the 0 to anything acceleration.
Oh, as a test.
Just like
Of
as
a
like a
car.
judge of like from a dead stop, this car will hit like whatever speed in 4 or 5 seconds, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like when do you actually use that aside from a drag strip?
Well, especially 0 to 60 doesn't matter in a drag race. It's like,
Well, yeah, but I mean like
When
at
would
least
you-
like the 0 to like drag racing is like the only place where that matters.
I mean, you usually do it a handful of times when you first get the car, and then you never do it again.
I never would.
No, I wouldn't.
Not in a new car, unless it had like,
Launch control.
I guess, launch control and it was automatic.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like a gimmick. Like, okay, here it is.
But I would never launch a stick
Oh,
car
yeah, no, yeah.
from a stop.
Like you don't use it in a track day. You
Yeah.
never like accelerate from 0. You like,
Yeah.
don't even use first gear in a track day.
Yeah. Even if you're going to do a burnout, you're rolling at like 1 or 2 miles an hour before you.
Even autocross usually has like a buffer zone
Yeah.
before where like the timing starts.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty
You don't
dumb.
need to like dump it.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that before. It's like that whole metric is so stupid.
But the
now.
worst
It's
thing is
just
when
like,
people-
doesn't
there's
mean
like-
anything.
YouTube videos or other videos where people like will do a drag race. Like, okay, we're gonna line up this car and this car, and we're gonna like see which one's better. And then it's like, oh, I've spun the wheel. It's like, what the fuck
Yeah,
does
it's
that tell them?
it's
like,
never
why did you
like,
do that.
oh, awesome, we both got
Yeah,
perfect.
and now we can figure out which of these two cars is
Starts.
the better
Yeah.
accelerating car.
I mean, I think it's just entertaining because
Yeah.
it's just like these two guys are going to race.
Yeah.
Like that's all I watch it for. If the cars are close,
I don't know why they do it from 0 because like neither of them know how to fucking drive. Like they just like,
Yeah.
oh, I bogged it. Oh, wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel
Well,
spin.
getting a perfect launch is just like so exceptionally hard
yeah.
that it's almost unrealistic to even.
But like, when,
care.
I say, aside from a drag strip, when do you actually launch a car
Yeah.
in regular use?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really.
And like even when you're like fucking around with someone on the street,
I
it's ever like, okay, when this light turns green, we're from a dead stop. We're both fucking standing.
I
up.
never do that.
I
I
mean,
always
like,
punch
I've-
it like halfway
Yeah,
through
I've
first.
maybe
or
done it
something.
like once or twice, like like when I was a teenager.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I was young,
But,
I didn't
like,
care.
Like, oh yeah, that's 0 to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
It's probably just a metric of acceleration that most people can understand.
Because like I said, these people they'll race a car and it'll be like, okay, I'm genuinely interested to see like when you line these two cars up, which one's faster. It's like, oh, I fucked up my launch. Like, it's like the race is like
Yeah.
invalid now. Like, why did
Yeah.
you fucking do that?
Yeah. But if you didn't show it, people would wonder. I mean, it's just kind of like it's
I don't know
like
why they don't just like start in
still-
second gear.
still
like,
want to
whatever,
know.
15 mile an hour roll.
It's just not as exciting.
It's
probably.
way more exciting with slow cars. It's like racing super high performance cars are it's always finicky. It's like they have way more power than traction.
Well, not anymore. Now you just fucking hit the launch.
Or they have
button.
launch control or whatever,
Yeah.
but like racing super shitty cars.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. People are talking about punching it after paying a toll.
That's true. That's one.
That's probably like by proportion the time that I floor it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Gotta get out of here.
Got to get back up to speed.
The
Yeah.
most, you're just punching it. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah, I've done that a couple
Yeah,
times.
but when you're talking about people like driving a slow car like really hard, I remember like when I had that Dodge Ram pickup in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like race
yeah.
guys in Civics, and that thing would just be like, brrr, because it's automatic. So you're just like
Yeah. Standing
standing
on it.
on it, and
Yeah.
then like you'd be next to a guy in a CRX or something, just like, bah, bah,
Oh, yeah.
like dead even.
Watching people drive slow cars that are stick,
like
Yeah.
really
and they're
working.
like putting their whole body into the shifts and
And
stuff.
the car's like not fast,
And you're
like,
just kind of like checking them out. You've got
you've got like your arm on the window.
yeah, it's like, man, he's really working.
Pulling those gears.
He's working hard to lose this race
Sweat's dripping from his brow.
against a full-size truck.
Yeah.
He's got his best gal in the car. She's losing interest in him.
Man, I forgot about that truck. The only vivid memory I have of that truck is we were driving one time and it was raining like super bad.
Yeah.
We were coming up to a stoplight and it just turned yellow
Yeah.
to stop, and you
I
like
just
you
had to
slammed
stop.
the brakes, but you like aquaplaned like through the whole fucking intersection.
Fine.
You remember that?
We were fine.
God.
Good times.
Yeah, solid.
Aquaplane. I don't think I've heard that.
Hydroplane.
Hydroplane. Sorry.
Oh, aquaplane's not a. I thought that was like a
Same
hip.
thing.
Maybe it is.
Aqua.
Yeah, it's a Spanish version.
I like that truck. But, yeah. Actually, my van drives just like that truck.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, what is truck/Jeep wheels?
Oh, Well, that
And we've come to the,
Yeah.
funny that you should mention
we've come to the height of the night.
Have you guys noticed how fucking ugly and disgusting like 95% of aftermarket wheels for trucks and Jeeps?
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, usually chrome.
It's not even just the like I feel like in the 70s and 80s it was like if you bought some wheels for your truck it was just like here's some like chrome Kragers or whatever.
Yeah, now they're pretty weird.
Dude, they're like
fucking,
they're fucking like tribal
yeah,
inspired.
they look like the equivalent of tattoos.
and it's not just like some of them.
Like something like this, you mean?
Yeah, like most of them. Like who would put these on?
Yeah,
And it's not like just so some of them are a little over the top. It's like no, like that's
they fucking go
the
for it.
vast majority. It's like a tap out shirt in like wheel form.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. The only like truck wheels that I like are the kind of that's actually not bad. I don't know.
Just keep googling.
Yeah.
This guy says look up the Rockstar wheels.
All right.
This better be good,
Yeah,
bro.
taking that a request.
Yeah, if we're gonna.
Is it just a whole line of wheels?
Yeah,
Maybe something like these.
Yeah, these are. Oh yeah, that big star in the middle.
These are
Yeah,
pretty
that's pretty-
solid.
Yeah.
Oh, nope,
I like that.
Yeah, but like who like that's what I want.
That's what. Yeah,
Mhm.
But
they're
like I
pretty
said,
bad.
it's not like a small group that likes these. That's the
No, it's pretty
standard-
common.
That's the de facto wheel for
Yeah,
your Ram.
I'm trying to think of like a cool aftermarket truck wheel.
1552 has a cool that they just came out. It's like it looks just like a steel wheel, but it's
Oh, yeah.
aluminum.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
that's
like
cool.
aggressive looking, and it's lighter than a steel wheel. That's
Mhm.
kind of cool.
Yeah,
And there's
Yeah,
a
I can see
few,
that.
like, but yeah, if you're trying to get like cool wheels for a truck,
yeah.
I
One of
don't
the
know what to
worst.
tell you.
One of the worst that I've seen. Yeah, like that when people put those kind of like Rockstar wheels, but on like a Wrangler or something. You know,
Yeah.
like a 4-door.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, you just took something with like awful on-road behavior, but like put a wheel and tire combo that's like not gonna work off-road. It's pretty
Oh, look at
bad.
that, I like that. Yeah.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah, pretty solid.
Solid.
Speaking of that, SEMA is kicking off
Ooh,
this week.
Oh, is it?
Sadly, we're not going to be there this year.
Oh, dang.
damn.
Yeah, we might do LA Auto Show. If anyone's gonna be at LA Auto Show.
Oh yeah, we're not sure what day yet. We'll probably
Yeah.
head down there for a day and check it out. And
Yeah, we might meet up with some people. The Straight Pipes are going to be there.
I think
Is that
so,
right?
yeah.
We're going to try to meet them.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody else. We'll see. But yeah, that'll be later this month or whatever.
yeah, it's
But
always fun to get behind the wheel.
I like that because it's
Yeah.
just like sit in a bunch of cars and
Ram
whatever.
some shifters.
Yeah.
Gates.
Well, it depends on if we like. I submitted a request for press credentials. So if that comes through, which I assume it will.
Yeah, I don't think you have a problem.
You don't
It's
think
not
so?
real.
Okay.
Barrier entry.
I hope not. Hopefully they don't see our
Mhm.
video.
Mhm.
Hopefully they don't realize they banned us.
That's all right.
uh,
Maybe. Yeah, I don't think we'll do awards again.
no, I was trying to think of a video for that, but I don't know.
We just do.
We might think of something.
podcast recap.
Yeah, I was thinking a live, not live, but like a walking around with Mike's podcast could be kind of neat.
It's a-
Although I guess that's what people do, right? They
Pretty much
just
a
like
vlog,
come with me to the LA Auto
We're
Show.
here.
Yeah,
the
it's pretty much a
Hyundai
vlog.
Yeah, we took like the long route, and we've ended up
Mhm.
at the
At
same
something that-
content. Like
Everyone's gonna fucking do.
Well, here's this innovative new.
Yeah.
It's like no. It's
This
just
is the new. This is the new.
yeah. Yeah, we need to check in on the Chevy Express van.
Yeah.
I heard they've made some big updates.
Yeah,
2020.
I heard the leather grain on the plastic dash is different.
It's 15% better.
Yeah, it's stronger. Okay, probably the hottest take of the night.
Oh,
You guys might want to
Yeah,
cool
get
off.
ready. You might want to sit down for this one.
Yeah, you might want to air out the back of your shirt.
okay. So I don't know when this came to me, but Ayrton Senna,
Mhm.
the F1 driver, legendary
Yeah,
F1 driver,
yeah.
as many would say. I don't really understand what the whole thing is about.
What's the hype?
Well, I mean, maybe I think a lot of it might have to do with age.
Because he died young.
Well, I mean, because he died 25 years ago.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
been a while.
So it's like how like people that are like our age
Oh.
are like, oh my god, like Senna, like
Oh.
the way his driving touched me.
Touched my
Like I
life.
say, not to say anything bad about him, but it's like how inspiring can a race car driver
Yeah.
be?
He's kind of become.
He's become this like mythical.
Like, who's the guy from? Who's that like Cuban revolutionary?
Che.
Yeah,
Right,
who's
whatever.
like his face is on like everything, and he just become this symbol of like not the original.
Culture.
Where
Yeah.
he's just kind of become this like counterculture symbol. I
Right.
feel like Senna's kind of going down that
Yeah, I don't know if it's
route a little bit.
It's just weird. I don't know. Like I said, nothing against him or anything. It's just weird to like have like that sort of. I mean, I guess like say if you were like, yeah, I watched every race of his.
I think it just happens like when if someone of that standard just happens to die young,
Well,
they just
yeah,
get
die
this
in their prime.
yeah, this like idolization about them, like, you know, Kurt Cobain kind of
Yeah.
has it like that, and like
Yeah.
Chris Farley even. Like, can you imagine like if Chris Farley is still alive today and he just became like Adam Sandler? Like no one gives a fuck about Adam Sandler anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
they just
I
kind
think
of
it's
like
more like
they're
it
just kinda
when those people
chilling.
die, you're like I really miss like their work. Like,
Right.
I would have wanted to see like, you know, what Kurt Cobain kept making.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
like I wanted to see Ayrton Senna win more races.
Yeah.
Which I guess Dale Earnhardt is kind of like that too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, he was a little older when he went, but
So you're saying Senna is overrated?
not overrated. I don't understand the
You don't get the hype.
the like religious like following that people have for a race car.
The hype beyond what is
Because I mean,
appropriate.
Schumacher was kind of like who has a Schumacher is like not dead, but like
Yes, he is.
is he?
Yeah, he died.
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh.
remember he had his like skiing accident.
No,
was
but
at a
no, he's still.
no, he died.
I don't think so, bro.
I'm pretty sure he passed away.
No, dude.
Pretty sure he passed away.
No, I think he's been like in like whatever coma.
Coma?
state.
I
Yeah.
thought he was for a long time, and then I thought
No,
he
I'm
finally passed away.
He's alive.
No way.
According to
Well, I mean, like he's not like technically.
Right.
This is taking a dark.
I don't even know.
He's
we should
not-
look this up.
he's not dead.
Yeah, he's just like whatever. Resting.
He's chilling.
All right.
But anyway, I'm
Sorry,
saying, like,
I was mistaken.
I'm just saying like no
Yeah.
one's like, oh my god, like Schumacher.
Yeah.
Like his driving touched me in a way that
Huh.
maybe just because he's German.
That,
I don't know. Where it's not like, oh, he has such passion.
yeah, it's like everyone hypes up Rocky, but like that Russian dude he fought was it's like he's fucking bomb. Like, why don't they? Yeah, I don't know where this topic's go. It's certainly hot. Where the ratings are. I'm getting the feedback on this topic, and people are blowing up the chat.
Or I think maybe with Senna, it's almost more like it's the era that he drove, which is kind of like the peak of F1. Like, as like
did he?
the drivers.
Oh, as like
When you like watch the videos of them driving,
yeah.
it's like they could express themselves better.
Yeah, it seemed like people were. I don't know why. Anytime they show like old F1 videos, the drivers are always like winning and then like jumping 10 feet in the air, and so they're all like spry.
Yeah, and they're like shifting the cars. And
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe it was just like it was that like a cooler era or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, well, I think you
we really got somewhere on that.
properly offended when you are driving and your soul and the car merge. Like people always they'll play whatever clip. Oh
I'm gonna
man.
hop in my E30,
Mhm.
take to the canyons.
Okay, Jeep dealership story.
So
Let's keep this to 2 minutes.
what? I'm gonna have to do the Cliff Notes version then.
Yeah.
So I had to take the Jeep in to get serviced recently, mostly for a recall.
Oh yeah, hold on one sec.
Yeah,
Somebody just mentioned before we move into that.
Mhm.
People are always like, he helped develop the NSX. that's the thing I was thinking of. They're like, the NSX is so good
So you're
because
talking about Senna.
Senna helped develop the NSX. It's like, I don't think he did. I don't think he fucking did. Like, there's some videos online of him driving it, and it's like, it really seems like he's driving it for the first time when he drives it, and people like to act like he's in there with a fucking clipboard and like
He's like,
pointing
adjust the dampers like 0.2%.
Yeah. All I've ever seen is a video of him driving it and then getting out and being like, Yeah, I don't know if I should really comment on a road car, but it doesn't seem very stiff or something. Like people be like, Senna developed the NSX.
Remember like when Sebastian Vettel was like driving for Infinity or whatever?
In Red Bull?
Red
Red
Bull
Bull
was
Infinity?
Infinity. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
anymore, right?
No, I don't think so.
I
forgot
remember
who
there
the
was like
sponsor-
whatever Infinity. And it's like developed by Sebastian. It's like
Oh,
no,
yeah,
you
yeah.
fucking didn't. It shows him just like driving it around some test course.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like the Infinity like Q50 red.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "What'd you think?" He's like, "Developed by Sebastian." You know, sign your name on the dash. They act like he's fucking at the meetings, banging his fist. Higher spring rates in the back. It's like you didn't fucking contribute to that thing. Get out of here. Senna developed. Signed off on the shifter bushing stiffness.
Steering feel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just like,
It's fine. It's good.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just solid. Yeah, there's a video of him driving the NSX R in some fucking like boat shoes.
Yeah.
And he gets out and he's like, Serious.
Maybe John can find the clip.
It's a Senna developed it.
Yeah, I think that's. I guess that's part of what I was getting into. Just
Yeah.
like the crazy like hype that surrounds his.
Honda took it 80% of the way. Senna finished it.
He actually came to Honda with the idea. To
Yeah, right. He got in a fight with the project manager. So
Fisticuffs.
passionate about it. Oh man, thank you for that, Taylor. You said, "Where's the soundboard?" I agree,
I think once we introduce the soundboard,
dude.
Yeah,
This
it's-
podcast is gonna go off the fucking rails. We have a
More than it has.
it says Flavor Town.
and Flavor Town. Yeah.
Austin
We'll get
says
on that. I don't have a good.
McLaren named a car after him too.
That's true,
obviously.
Yeah, the Senna.
Most recently.
And the Toyota Sienna, which was
Yeah, the
and that's not mere
I
coincidence.
believe he helped. I believe he helped develop the Sienna.
I think there's a T-shirt idea. There.
I think there's a test of him getting sideways on the Nürburgring loafers.
Sienna. For a minivan, not bad.
Chassis rigidity. I don't know. Oh fuck. Okay, sorry.
I don't know how I'm going to top that.
Jeep. I just wanted to.
Bring it
I knew
down.
I had something to
Yeah,
add.
get off your chest.
Jeep dealership story.
So-
Nah, you have a minute and a half now.
Yeah. Cut it down.
You're on the clock.
Sorry.
So I had to take the Jeep in for a recall, and it was honestly like
It's riveting.
I think everyone knows that dealerships fucking suck, but
We can all agree.
this was honestly the worst experience I've ever had in a dealership. So I take it in and I drop it off, and I also, since it was going to be serviced, I had like a couple few minor quips to check out because one of the carbon fiber trim pieces was peeling up, and I know that's a warranty item for them to replace that.
Oh, you're in there anyways?
Yeah. Since I have to take it in.
I've never owned a car with a warranty. Can you just like? It sounds like you can be like, there's a fucking like ticking noise in the door panel, and they'll just like rip the whole thing
You would
off
think,
and like,
right? Yeah.
oh, is that where this?
Well, actually, no. I got a letter from Jeep about this problem with the carbon fiber trim. Like,
Okay.
apparently, it's a super common problem
Inside
the car. Yeah, and they were like, because of this, we're extending the warranty on all of them from 3 years to 5 years, or from like a
Okay.
year from the date of this letter. Blah blah.
Oh,
blah.
it has like strips of carbon fiber.
Yeah, and like they're
Okay.
essentially just glued down, and the
Okay.
glue sucks, and so one was
that's
peeling up.
Oh, that's annoying.
Huge issue with the car.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
so I mentioned that
Basically,
to
you
them.
couldn't drive it.
I know. I mentioned that to them, and then also one of the headlights. You know how there's like that LED strip that goes around the bulb,
Right.
and it like just is an accent. That
Right.
one of them has like a little dead spot in it, and so I was like, that's just something I find annoying.
Right.
Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, okay, blah blah blah. Here's the thing. Sign this. And she was like, oh, and you have to sign this extra thing because now we do text message updates because we're getting into high tech, and you have to like approve that you agree to
Sure.
pay for the fees of text message, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, so I do that, and I dropped it off Monday night, and then I didn't hear anything Tuesday. No issues on the car. Didn't hear anything Wednesday. No text message updates. So I call Thursday morning. I'm like, hey, like, what the fuck's going on with my car? Like, are you doing anything with it? And my service rep apparently just wasn't working that day. So I had to talk to somebody else who didn't know what the fucking situation was.
Mm-hmm.
So he like, let me bring up your paperwork. And he looks it up and he's like, oh, it looks like we're waiting for parts. So it should maybe be here today. You know, usually we get our parts around 1. If not, we'll get them tomorrow.
It's just been like sitting in the service bay or
I was
whatever.
like, well, can you tell me what the fuck is actually going on? Like I have 0 updates. Like, are you waiting for the carbon fiber, or like, did they find an issue with the headlight and that's being replaced? And he was like, and I was like, and if it is being replaced, does the warranty cover that? And he was like, well, looks like she ordered a $1,500 headlight, so I hope your warranty covers that, because otherwise you're kind of. I was like, what the fuck? And so finally I called. He was like, well, call back tomorrow because she's working then. So I called back Friday, finally talked to her, and she was just like, oh, yeah. It looks like the parts aren't going to get in until 2 weeks from now. So,
Jeez.
you know, we'll just give you a call when they come in, but you can come get your car today.
Oh, good thing you dropped it off.
And I was like, okay, great. I mean, I guess they did the recall, which was just a reflash of the ECU.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So I'm like, all right, but I couldn't pick it up Friday because they closed like before I got off work. So I go Friday morning to pick it up.
Saturday, you mean?
Sorry, Saturday morning. Yeah. And I like talked to him like, so what's up with the parts? Like, are we waiting for both the carbon fiber trim and the headlight, or is the headlight covered? And again, she was not working, so I had to talk to fucking somebody else who didn't know what the hell was going on. He was like, I don't even see any issue. Like, I don't see a headlight ordered. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was told it was ordered. And they were like, yeah, but it looks like it's a $75 diagnostic fee for the headlight to, you know, get your car back.
For you?
Yeah. Like, I had to pay $75 for them to diagnose that there was a problem with the headlight. They recommend it being replaced, but they didn't. Apparently, it wasn't covered by warranty, and they didn't order it.
What?
But even though I was told 2 days before that they did order it.
So you had to pay $75 for them to look at the headlight?
And be like, yep, it's burnt out. Exactly like what I told them.
Damn. Well, at least you got a confirmation.
Yes, that there is an issue with it.
But so it's not covered by the.
Apparently, it's not covered by it. And
So,
so,
you just told them to put the old one back on.
no, they didn't take it off.
Oh, but I mean, so they're not.
So you got so you left it there for a week and nothing happened.
Besides the recall reflash.
Oh, and they diagnosed the headlight.
And they diagnosed the headlight.
Yep.
Which means they like bought lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Billed it to you.
Probably did
Bill it to this
probably
asshole.
did some launch mode.
Wait, you had to pay $75.
Yes, diagnostic fee.
Sweet. That's pretty cool.
And then the carbon fiber trim is supposed to come in this week. So I'm on the edge of my seat to take it back. To get it
I just don't have. You were asking if I had any like dealership stories, and like I just don't. I just buy old cars and like
Missing out.
Like it sounds like it could be really sweet. It's like if you have a problem with your car, you just give it to someone and they fix it, and the warranty or whatever. It's like it doesn't sound like that's how it goes down. So
no, my parents had a problem with the same dealer. They took their Chrysler 300 there.
Yeah.
And it had, I don't know if it was like that Takata airbag.
Yeah.
It was some sort of airbag. I don't know if it was the Takata thing or not, but it was.
I had to get mine changed.
Airbag related recall.
Yeah.
And the airbag light was on in the car, like up prior to them getting the notice.
Yeah.
So they took it. You know, it's like a mandatory, like by law or whatever. You know, they have to.
Yeah, they have to fix it.
So like they took it in, and like I don't know, they had the car for a week or whatever. And they got back the car. Oh, the work's done. Like the airbag light was still on.
Yeah, and your dad's like, "What the fuck?"
And he's like, "How come the airbag light's still on?" He's like, "Oh, it wasn't related to whatever we changed." He's like, "Did you like look to see what it was?" Like, no, like it was still like that. And he's just like, "Okay."
Yeah. Sounds
Yikes!
solid.
I think he was like, "Well, I think he like ended up calling like Chrysler Corporate or something." He's like, "Well, if we get in a crash, then you know there's some airbag related.
Yeah,
I'll remember this." But,
Ooh.
Needless to say, it was a fun experience. Yeah,
That's rough.
I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think literally my only dealership story is I dropped the M5 off to get the airbag replaced, and they gave me a 3 Series for like a couple hours. I just went like floored it for like 2 hours and like got lunch.
From
went back. Yeah, it was splendid. I got a new steering wheel out of it. Okay, so that seems to be the end of the car topics.
Now we get to the
There's still a number of topics on here I'm noticing. Let's just bang these out. So
here's some very hot breaking news.
We went to Popeyes yesterday for lunch. And I don't know if you've been following the Popeyes chicken sandwich
We've touched
debacle gate. Chicken sandwich gate. Anyways, they've got this like they've got this like big sign on the door that says like chicken sandwich, like BRB or whatever, like coming soon. Because there's this whole
they're apparently they were getting ready for it.
Yeah, it was like this whole shit show for like
few months
months
ago.
where
Yeah.
they pulled the chicken
Like
sandwich.
they had it for a couple days, but then like nationwide they were out.
Yeah, and so we go in there and we're like waiting to order, and Mike.
We didn't go there to get chicken sandwiches.
No, we didn't. We were
to
just gonna get some tendies. And so Mike's like looking at somebody eating, like there's someone
In the restaurant, yeah.
He's staring at families
Yeah. And he,
minding
like,
their own
He
business.
nudges me with his elbow, and he's like, "Hey, dude, aren't they eating a sandwich?"
Yeah, he's
over
like,
there?"
aren't they eating chicken sandwiches?
And
He's like looking
and
at
I look
them.
over and I confirm
And so we all look at this family.
that they are eating chicken sandwiches.
We get real up in their business. We confirm they are eating chicken sandwiches. And so we're up at the front ordering, and we're like, do you have the chicken sandwich? And
like-
she's kind of like,
Yeah, she like double takes.
yeah, she's like, yeah, we do. But like, it's like
Because
real.
It was like fairly busy, but it wasn't like packed.
Yeah,
with
it's
her,
like she didn't want to announce it.
It was like a whole like speakeasy and like the fucking pro.
yeah. I had to like give her the handshake, and so like she was real quiet. She's like, yeah. She's like, we have it, and we're like, oh fuck. And so we got it, and
Drum roll, please.
it's pretty good.
No, I think the verdict was like it's pretty damn good
Yeah,
Yeah,
for a fast food
good.
sandwich, but not
not life
worth
changing.
like the.
I'd say it's
effort.
as good. I personally think it's about as good as Chick-fil-A, except my whole thing is like I'd rather go to Chick-fil-A.
The store experience is a little bit.
Yeah, I'd rather deal with some like, hey,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, I think I liked it a little bit better than Chick-fil-A, but
Corny
yeah,
ass.
I would never like wait an hour. I wouldn't wait more than 10 minutes to get one. Let's put it that way.
So, anyways, hot tip, Carbro's top tip.
But now apparently, like I just like looked a little bit ago.
Yeah, they officially launched it today.
Like today,
at like 150 restaurants or something.
apparently, according to some article.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And apparently, people were just started immediately lining up.
Yeah, there was already
for hours.
Yeah, there was already like an hour
to eat a
long wait.
fucking chicken sandwich.
So yeah, basically, I'd say it's worth 10 minutes of waiting. Probably not any more than that.
Yeah, 10 minutes max. Carbro's top tip. Okay, item number 2. This is a relevant one. Halloween candy companies must just fucking. They must have like lobbyists that try to keep Halloween relevant. You know, it's just like, dear God, please, Halloween's coming. It's coming, people.
They're probably already getting ready for like Halloween 2020.
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now.
because it's like,
What kind of new packaging? Are we gonna
who get like they'll sell these candy packages. There's like 90 pieces of candy, and it's like, who the fuck is gonna ever buy $100,000 candy bar? You know, they'll
tiny little bite size.
yeah, they'll try to slip these candies that you'd never fucking buy. Fucking Goodfellas or like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
song? It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's like the name like Butterfinger, and,
Charleston
like,
Chew.
Kit Kat, and
It's
then they
like-
just throw in the janky ass line.
They sprinkle in the like other shit. The fucking like, what's the coconut one?
Oh,
Mounds.
Almond Joy or
Yeah,
whatever. You're
Almond
like
Joy Mounds, yeah.
chucking them at each other afterwards. Thank you for that, Smitty. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's just kind of like funny to me how they must just like fucking. It's like that's probably when they make all their profit.
Because John
is
had like a bunch of
Halloween.
candy here that you just had for a while, right?
Well, we had, my girlfriend and I went to Disneyland.
You mean fiance?
Oh yeah, sorry,
Oh,
fiance
congratulations.
now.
Fiance.
Yeah.
Damn.
Went to Disneyland.
God, I'd be hitting that.
Flavor
Fuck.
Town.
just, just pretend.
You guys just do it with your mouth.
me.
Liquidity race.
Oh,
Flavor Town.
fuck.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland and they have like trick or treat kind of nights, and so we went and they just give you like a shit ton of candy there, which is pretty sweet.
So the last time we were here, Quan and
Yeah,
I
I had like bags and bags of it, and like I'm not a big candy eater, so you guys were going to town.
So I repaid the favor.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I went to
Yeah,
Target
you
and
stocked
bought a
up.
half off bag and brought it
Yeah,
earlier. But mostly I was just saying like, how much money must they make on this one? Like they have aisles of this shit just marked down like half or
yeah,
even more
like
off.
they're still making money half
like
off.
the day after
Right.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And the only thing they change is like the packaging on the outside.
Just the
Like, put a-
plastic
yeah,
bag.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
put a ghost
Yeah,
on
put
it.
a spider. Halloween here. We don't give a shit.
Festive.
Just fucking buy it, please. Man. Austin called me out for not saying Smitty's last name. So thank you for that, Smitty. Werben Jaegerman Jensen. appreciate
says sup guys.
Appreciate
So,
that.
and
Sup,
we say
man.
sup back.
Okay, and finally, donuts.
Solid. They're pretty solid.
They're fucking good.
Yeah.
We have concluded The donuts
After hard research.
are pretty good. And the bummer about me, I quit. I had a corporate job 2 years ago.
Left that corporate.
And I quit, to do my own thing. But I now, I lost my access to donuts.
Yes, I'm still in the corporate grind. So anytime, randomly, obviously, people just bring in donuts, and they're like, "Hey, everyone, I brought in donuts." Like they send out the email. There's donuts in the break room, and everyone's like, like just a nice little surprise.
Yeah, you're always like
on a Wednesday morning.
It's always hilarious to me because people, you can see them thinking about it.
Yeah,
and they're just like, "Oh God damn it, am I gonna? Am I doing this?" It's like, oh God, they're always inner turmoil.
So anytime that happens, I always take a photo of my donut and text it to these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, look at this donut.
We're always.
But I found that
mad
donuts have one of
jealous.
those things when you see one,
You just
it has
want
this
it.
Weird,
Yeah.
I don't really feel that with other food.
I guarantee everyone listening to this wants
It's
a
probably
donut. Right?
John should put some donut.
Yeah, we should be eating donuts now. The other thing that cracks me up about donuts is the places that sell donuts.
Yeah.
The store will just be like, donuts.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not even
Doesn't even matter what the name of the
it's
business
just
is.
yeah, you know what it is, you piece of shit. It's just it's just fucking yeah, get in here.
Are we gonna go to the donut shop?
Yeah, get in here, you fat slob. You know you're buying some fucking
And, it's
donuts.
sweet. And I like that their hours are always 5:30 a.m. to noon.
Yeah, it's just come on in.
And they always have the brilliant idea where they're like, let's make the O in donuts an actual donut.
I like
It's fucking
those. The
brilliant.
donut hole is great.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
all about the donut hole.
No, I mean on the sign, the word
Oh,
donuts.
oh, yeah,
They
yeah,
I
make
kind
yeah.
of want some donut holes.
Yeah, me too. I thought that's where you were going. Yeah, that always just cracks me up. It's fucking go buy some donuts. Okay, all right, let's
Bring it in.
I think that's good. All right, thank you guys for being here. Hope you appreciated at least some of that and enjoyed it. Again, if you're enjoying this and the videos, consider signing up for our Patreon. It's super fun. There's a lot of cool stuff, including the upcoming Monterey extra.
Yeah, extra footage.
Extra footage. There's a lot that I had to cut that was pretty good. So
It's too hot for TV.
it's too hot. Some of it was too hot. Some of it we pulled. Some of it we pulled. So you get access to that. Thank you guys for being here, especially those of you who are live. That's super cool. That makes these a blast. We really appreciate that. So we will, thank you again for those super chats. We'll be back live on the first Sunday of December at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That looks like December 1st
There you go.
is the first Sunday. So December 1st, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday.
And in between that, we will have.
And then 2 weeks from now, we've got a non-live podcast. So on the Monday, November 18th, we'll have our special guest Savage Geese podcast dropping for
really
you.
good.
Yeah, it was solid. I could we just kind of had to stop at a certain point.
We were just we could just keep going.
Yeah, we ended up talking for 2.5 hours or something. And the podcast itself is probably an hour and a half. So it's that guy was just awesome. I have a feeling we'll get to do something else in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
It felt like there's interest on both sides. So again, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for being a fan, all that stuff. Enjoy your week, and we will see you next time.
See you.